What's up, everybody? Today we're going to do something a little different. We're not going to talk about content marketing, growth hacking, or any of that stuff. We're going to talk about the backbone of what makes a great company, and that's core values. Unfortunately, core values is something that is really often forgotten, or not enough time has been put into core values, but it's the backbone of what makes a great company, what makes a great leader. And I have 9 core values I want to share with you today. This is the result of me starting about 5 or 6 companies over the last years, being a part of some great organizations and some shitty ones, and what I've learned about myself. These are my personal core values that I use for every partnership I do, every person I partner with in terms of business or any employee I hire. These are the things that are important to me and are instilled in every company I'm a part of. First and foremost is hard fucking work. It's this hard work ethic. Look, nothing ever came easy to anybody. You got lucky, but guess what? The times before somebody got lucky was a lot of fucking hard work. It is always going to be hard work, and I'm always looking for individuals, whether they're business partners or employees or my bosses, my clients. I want to be around people who are willing to work hard. Not always do they have to work hard, but they need to be willing to work hard and have gotten past that point where they've worked hard and earned something. Number 2 is over-deliver. My personal mantra is always over-deliver, and I hope to live by this every single thing I do. I want to over-deliver what I've said I'm going to do, because talk is cheap. Delivery is what it's all about. Action, execution. Now, it's not always easy to over-deliver, and you might not be able to do it in every single aspect of your life, but generally, I live by that. The third thing is hustle. What's hustle? Yeah, it's hard work, but really more than that, it's about being resourceful. It's about taking very little, taking a little grain of rice and making it feed a family. That's resourceful. That's probably impossible there, but that example, but being resourceful in marketing and business is very, very important, because oftentimes you don't have much budget, you don't have much resources. If any resources, you might have to do that hard work, but you will never be able to even understand that what needs to be done unless you think resourcefully. We want that hacker hustle mentality. I want those people all around me to take, even if I have a lot, I want to take just a little of that and make more of it, right? It doesn't matter where you are, that hustle always comes in place. Now, switching it up a bit, number 4 is fun. Fun, fun, fun. I never in my life want to do something I don't love. I want it to always be fun. Look, it's going to be hard, but it's going to be fun. It's got to be fun in order to go past that hard. Screw this whole work-life balance shit. Doesn't work for me. If you love what you do, it's not work. I want to be around my employees. I want to be around my business partners because they're fun to hang out with. Even if we talk business all the time, I want my surroundings to be family, friends. And only when that starts happening do you have fun and you forget about this, how hard I'm working, because you're going to have these lulls and highs in your life where you're going to be working your ass off, and some parts you're not. But it's always got to be fun. Now, the next thing, number 5, is never stop learning. Look, I've actually stopped learning. When I had my last agency in 2012, 2014, actually 2012 and 13, I was on this high horse. I had an executive assistant. I was Mr. Manager. I was the CEO of a business, multi-million-dollar business, making money like crazy, but I stopped learning. And guess what? The industry flew by me. I got dull. And it took a lot of hard work to get sharper again. Last 2 years, I've been busting my butt to stay ahead. Not just stay ahead, though, but actually be the best. But that doesn't happen unless you continue to learn. Because digital marketing, if you're an internet entrepreneur, every year is like a 5-year period. Every year is almost like a decade. Things change. And sometimes they even change faster with new technology. So always start learning and continue to sharpen up your blade. The next core value is to educate instead of show off. Anybody can show off. There's always going to be somebody smarter, better looking, makes more money than you, more successful, whatever. But I prefer people to, when they get through the door, they get through a hardship, they get the person right behind them or the people behind them through the door, and they help them through. There's 3 people in my lives in the last 13 years who've made a big impact. I can name off the top of my head: Kathy Young, Bob Crowley, Neil Patel. They invested time in me to help educate me, and they got nothing in return. Of course, helped them drastically over the years and did my part to pay them back by helping others do the exact same thing. It's a very important core value that you're always helping somebody that's less fortunate or is trying to hustle just as hard as you to get them through the door. That's what in my life is all about. My next core value is to be humble. Anybody can show off, right? We've already accomplished that. I'll start over. My next core value is to be humble. And this comes from my time in SF. I spent 5 years in San Francisco, and commuting is really tough. Parking is really bad, so I took the bus to work every day for about 2 years straight. And during this time, I shared a bus number 10 from Pack Heights to Soma with two individuals. One was a hedge fund manager. He made millions a year, took the bus, right? Another guy, startup founder, his startup during this time sold to Microsoft. Instantly, he added a couple commas to his net worth. He was worth a little under $100 million. Still took the bus. These guys and I had the most down-to-earth conversations. No matter how much money we made, we got up when there was an old lady that needed a seat. We got crushed when there was a packed bus. We were at the edge hanging out. When it was raining, we got wet. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how successful you are. It's important to stay humble. And these two individuals who will not be named really help keep me down to earth. No matter how much money you make or how successful you are, it's helped me really become grounded. My next core value is leaders eat last. What does that mean? It means if you're the leader, if you're a manager of a team, if you're the CEO of a company, it's your responsibility to make sure the people below you, the people you've hired maybe or manage and you deal with every single day, the people maybe not as well off as you, eat first. Make sure they get paid. Make sure even if you lose money on a deal, that they are well taken care of. If you lay somebody off, if it's not like because they stole from you a really bad issue, help them get their next job, right? I mean, this is really important that you don't eat first. There's so many people out there that just take. This is all about eating last. Why? Because guess what? I've been working for a while. My bank account has a little bit more money than the guy who's just starting. And I'm going to make sure that is the cushioning to make sure that guy gets fed first. I've had many years where I've taken no salary. In fact, this whole year, 2016, I invested 90% of what I made back into other companies and essentially growing other businesses. Why? Because I'm in it for the 5-10 year game. And I know I'll come out on top at that point, but doesn't necessarily mean everyone around me is going to be there that next 10 years to get that big payday or whatever that is. So they need to make sure you eat first. My last personal core value is to leave behind a legend. I'm not saying be a celebrity or be famous. That's cool, but what I'm talking about is making an impact, leaving a legend to a few core people of lives you've impacted, right? If you've educated people, you've probably made their lives better. You may have opened a door for somebody. I remember in San Francisco at my last agency, I interviewed somebody who flew down from Canada or I forgot some country, not even the US. He flew down to meet with me for an internship position. I didn't hire him, but a few years later, he emailed me and he's like, hey, thank you for that interview. Seeing your company and being kind of that hustle and mentality and being in San Francisco changed my life. He later told me that he moved to San Francisco, is a prominent CEO at a company, and he's doing incredibly well. I'm not taking any credit for that. That was just me interviewing somebody. I had another employee who lived in LA. He took a bus overnight to interview for the job. Not necessarily saying interviews is where you show this, but at the end of the day, these people's lives get changed because of something little you may do. You may do something like hold the door open, and that might change someone's mindset. I know there's a few words that my mentors have told me, very few words. One of my mentors told me when I was saying, I can't buy this car, I can't do this, why not? And I was like, oh, I don't have enough money. I made all these excuses. And then, I was like 5 years later, I still remember that. So those little words, those little things that you do can leave behind a legend. So those are my core values. Hopefully you've learned some things. Hopefully you can take some of these, some of my core values and maybe apply to yours, or at least take the time to make your own core values with everything you do, personal and professional core values.